Hello artists, we're on our second 5-minute lesson. Our first one was awesome. We were looking at India and we spent the 5 minutes diving in and doing a crayon wax resist. And so for this week we're going to look at China. We didn't have enough time in our lessons over the 14 weeks to look into it. So we're going to take this 5 minutes to look at the Yuzen fabric. And now this fabric is a very special fabric because it is silk, which is a very high quality fabric. And also it has been made in China for 2,000 years, you guys. And it's still being made today. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a Yuzen fabric pattern on today's 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and dive in. So go ahead and grab your piece of paper and a pencil. I'm going to be using a pen, and we're going to go ahead and start drawing this beautiful Yuzen fabric pattern that's coming up on your screen right now. And don't worry, it is very detailed. So we are not going to do every single leaf and every single flower petal. That's just too crazy. So we're not doing that. So what we're going to do is we're going to get inspired by that photo that you're seeing up on your screen, and we're going to go ahead and draw in very generally speaking. So just look at the very loose shape that you're seeing and put it down. And we're going to cover the whole page. So don't do anything too tiny and detailed. So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go in, and I'm just going to start off with some really nice kind of shaky edge for the first flower petal, like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and add petals coming out from the side. So I'm actually tucking it behind like this, going out, and then that appears like that is behind the first shape that we just put in. And we're just going to go ahead and add another shape. And now this one's going to start to come out this way. Like that. And then there's kind of like these squiggly lines coming out. So go ahead, embrace your shaky hand. You guys, we don't want anything perfectly straight here. We're doing nice organic flower shapes. And we're going to go ahead and put in some of these nice kind of squiggly shapes here. Now we're doing a drawing. We're not doing a photograph. So we want to make sure is that we're not getting hung up on getting it perfect just like what the fabric looks like. We don't want that. We're using that as our inspiration. That's our starting off point. And then we can just keep on going, and we can change some things as you're going. You're like, oh, I want to do this, or I want to change this up. Go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to add a little bit of details on the inside of this flower. And I'm just going to continue this pattern all over. Okay, so I'm going to speed up the video just a little bit. Okay, you guys, so we're going to go ahead and stop there with our outline. Doesn't that look awesome? So what we're going to do now is we're going to color this in, and you guys can pick anything you want. So if you have crayons, colored pencils, sidewalk chalk, markers, soft pastels, oil pastels, if you have anything like that, you're going to apply it to this drawing, and we're going to layer, layer, layer. The reason for that is because this particular fabric has a lot of layers to it. it's not just woven, it also is embroidered on top of, so it's a crazy detail, and then you're topping more crazy detail, and then you're adding even more, you're adding beading on top of it. So we're saying this is a 3-layer sandwich of amazing patterns and fabrics and craftsmanship. So we're gonna be applying layer, layer, layer to this also. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna layer the marker down first, then I'm going to layer crayon, and then I'm going to layer the sidewalk chalk. That's going to be my order, but you guys feel free to try out some different layers or different ways of layering your art material. So why don't we go ahead? I'm going to pick my marker here, and let's zoom in. So I'm going to go in, and I'm going to start to add some color. And I'm going to add some pink areas, and because we're layering, we don't need to worry about filling every single white space that we create when we're using the marker. The marker is just going to add some pizzazz and some dimension with these lines. This. There we go. So you have some pink marker down. I'm going to do a little bit of orange. And what's neat with the marker, it kind of has that look of fabric that is woven. Okay, so, I'm going to do a little bit of orange over here. Just a few spots here. I'm just going to put it next to the petals here, so then that way they kind of stand out a little bit more. And now I'm going to start my next layer, which I'm going to put crayon. So I'm going to get my crayons. I'm going to get some lime green that's speaking to me right now. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this lime green over the top of the pink a little bit. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out another crayon color, and I'm kind of thinking some red here. Just add a little bit of texture, kind of like a brick red color. Very nice. We need to get some brightness in here. It's getting a little boring, so I'm going to go in with some orange. Ooh, yeah, that's what I needed. On top of this red. The red was a little too dull. Oh, this is so exciting. All this mark making. How fun is that? All right, you guys. Now I'm going to go ahead and go in with my sidewalk chalk, and I'm going to use this for the flowers. And I'm going to go in with some bright pink here, and I'm going to go ahead. Can you guys see this? So remember, just a little goes a long way. And I got some water on my paintbrush. Ooh, look at that. So what we're doing is we're creating all this different texture with all these different art materials. So we got our marker, our crayon, and we also have our sidewalk chalk. So when they're all layered together, it really creates a nice, interesting effect. And so I'm just gonna go with a little bit more water on my brush. Dip it in some more water. And I'm gonna get a little bit of some lime green for the leaves. A little bit in the background too, why not? There we go, you guys. I'm gonna stop there. I think that looks really nice and it's very dynamic. Lots of stuff is happening. Once it's dry, then you can kind of reevaluate and see if you want to add more colors, more layers. That's totally up to you, but I think right now I'm gonna stop there. Really nice work, you guys, on this second 5 minute. I'll see you on the next one.